Oh, my name is Russell. I'm currently in California. I'm 20 years old. I was raised in Illinois. I'm going to talk about myself, my experiences with racism, my experiences with pain, my experiences with girls. Um, it's not all going to be in one, and sometimes I'll skip and go around. Sometimes I stutter, and sometimes I forget what I was saying. Sometimes I forget the exact terminology, and sometimes I take long pauses to readjust, recalibrate before I speak. But this is going to be my journey, my vlogs, my understanding. It's going to be raw. So that's why it's going to be choppy, at least for the start. First things first, I don't believe myself to be attractive. I don't believe myself to be anything special. For most of my life, I hated how I looked. I hated to show my face. I was depressed. I didn't look like my friends. I didn't look like certain people. Don't get me wrong, I didn't hate being black, but I hated how I was treated for being black. You know, the same jokes, the same treatment. Whenever we would talk about Martin Luther King, oh, your grandfather, oh, your uncle, all your things. Every year, same thing, same joke. I hated that who I was attracted to always felt like a political stance instead of like I truly liked to date her. I felt that if I got into a relationship with a white female, I would be treated like a fad. Like it would only be out of enjoyment of doing something wrong. That's like, oh, I'm dating a black guy. I can never tell my parents. I can never bring her home because they wouldn't approve of it or get talked to like I was an alien or a different creature. I hated going to school because even when I was doing something right, my teachers would go, "Oh, thank you. You're not like the others. You're so quiet and so to yourself. Thank you for doing your work." And you knew they said it only because the three other black kids were just having fun in the back of the class. They were just talking. They weren't doing what they were supposed to do, but they were being kids. Feeling like I was less black because of that. I just wanted to read the book. I didn't have anything to talk about. My own personal ways didn't make me white. I wasn't trying to be white. I was just trying to be me. Feeling like I wasn't black enough. Feeling that I definitely knew I wasn't white enough. I would tell jokes. I would be quiet. I would be, loud for attention sometimes. I'd be annoying. I was always scared I was annoying. I was constantly cared too much about other people's words. I had too big of a heart, too kind-hearted. I was messy. I wasn't good in school. I'm not academically smart, at least not in that way. I would read the sources and dictionaries and try to learn new words and their meanings. So I would constantly not have to repeat the same words over and over and over again so I can express a higher vocabulary, higher stance on education. Sorry, I mean my higher stance on education. But I didn't want to seem pretentious. I didn't want to seem like I was doing it only to, oh, I'm not like these other black people. It was just because I enjoyed speaking with a higher vocabulary. But that's honestly my downfall, because it got to me. I felt that if I started to get attracted to black females at my school, I would be looked different. I would start to feel like I was, trying to be a thug or trying to fit in, or I didn't really mesh with them, because they were usually into the other black males who, were typically bigger and, more charismatic. Me and the other black males, we'd get along just fine, but I felt like I wasn't like them because I was shorter. I was going through puberty, it was like everyone's kind of ugly during puberty, but I was very short. I would lift weights, but I was also very skinny, like 90 pounds. I believe I was 98 pounds freshman year, 110 soaking wet, probably at the most at the end of it. I was on the football team. I didn't really get bullied that much at school, so it's not like, at least not bullied in the conventional way. It was like, nerd, give me your lunch money or anything. But the racism was there. Every black person at least has some sort of racism. It's a large gathering of people. There's gonna be some racism, but nothing typically crazy or wild. We've had our moments. At least I've had my moments, but it affected me socially. It affected me mentally because I always saw myself so ugly that no woman would ever want to be with me. I fell into habits. I still have very bad habits, and I thought I needed to be better. Always have my shit together. It's awful when you always think you have to be this certain level to get something. I always thought that because it's like my white counterparts, they can ask their parents for money to go to movies or have them take them somewhere. But my family didn't have that. It's not that they didn't have money, but it's just like you saw that. If you saw what I saw, my mom had pancreatic cancer and she came home from work always tired. And she beat it, but it was, and she's still alive now, so, but if you saw that, you would just kind of break down. I'm grateful for my grandfather for teaching me how to be a man. My dad, he has some problems too. He wasn't a bad dad, there were things that he would do. He wasn't abusive, he wasn't drunk, but he was a dick. He's still alive, but he's a dick, and he kind of disowned me recently because I finally got fed up with it. My stepdad, he was a cheater. He had a kid in a different country. Cheated on my mom constantly. Sometimes physically abused me. Say some very outlandish stuff. Women were all whores. Especially when you're a sophomore, saying that every girl in high school at the time has been ran through, kind of can mess you up a little bit. It didn't change my view on women. It just said I knew right then and there his views on women. Horrible. My grandfather died around that time, my sophomore year, so I had no real male figures other than who I've come to know as my cousin Kessie, who committed suicide following the end of my senior year. But I was always able to call him and talk to him, and I'm grateful for that. My Uncle Ray also died around a year earlier than my grandfather, who I very appreciate to have in my life. He was very funny and he helped his sons, even though he himself was cheated on. He was, in my mom's own words, one of the better ones of us because he would show charisma and charm in nearly every situation. At least every situation I've seen him. Constantly having everyone in your family kind of die. Even on my mom's side, my mom's family members all died. Very few are still alive. People were shot in the head. People got cancer. People were dead long before or missing. So we never went to family reunions. I couldn't explain why I was feeling this way. The only people in my life were my sister, my other sister, my stepbrother, and my mother. My stepbrother left. Yeah, he left around 6th grade to go live with his mother. My sister left around 6th grade to go live with my father. My little sister, and it was just me and my little sister. She was always smarter than me, and she's going off to college, and she's got a pretty good scholarship, so I'm grateful for her. You know, she annoyed me when she was young, but that was siblings. We grown to have an appreciation of each other. It is, I feel even worse for her. The mental struggles that she had to face are so much greater than my own. At least in a different way. I constantly feel like I'm not a man. And it hurts every day. I feel defeated a lot of the days. Every time I go to work, I feel like I'm clocking into my own grave. Feeling like I should be doing better, I should be doing more. That added to just the fact that I feel ugly as a black person, and I feel ugly as a person. I feel like I don't do enough. Even when I try to do good activities and volunteer my times, I feel like I don't deserve anything. I sleep in a closet because I have a roommate, and sometimes I don't want to have him see me cry and move, and I shake, and sometimes I shout. Sometimes I hit myself in the head on accident, and I wake up because I'm like running in my dreams, and I laugh it off, and I don't tell him. I have a constant problem of explaining a lot of things. I talk to myself a lot, and when I talk to myself, I sound like a genius, but when it comes time to say it, I sound so dumb because my mind just draws a blank, and it's hard. I try to find the words to say. I have plenty of messages. I want to be a black leader. I want to be a leader, period, but I feel like I should be a black leader. I'm scared most of the time to say anything because, I don't want the awkwardness. I don't want the wait. I don't want to be a leader. I know if in a perfect world, I know exactly what I would do. Just work out. I would take a fishing boat, take a fishing pole to a nice lake or river. I think a lake. Just take a big sun hat, take a blanket, put my fishing pole up, and just sleep on the boat. Let the waves carry me until it's time to row back, taking long naps, catching one or two fish, coming home to my family with our acres of land, my son running around, us with our dogs, my daughter over there playing, my wife probably yelling at me for being so lazy, but self-sustaining. But that dream is always shattered by everything that goes around me. I'm scared that I'm gonna die at the age of 25 or sooner, either by the hands of corrupt police, or the hands of an uneducated black man, or just with my own hands. I feel like there's no one to tell, no one to talk to, because everyone else has these same feelings. I ask myself, if I ever get into prominence, I would, relay the message. I would tell someone. I don't want to die to have my message said. This is constantly on my mind. The unaltered, the raw truth. How I felt more free than I ever have just saying this. I have issues where I work right now, and I'm not going to say where it is because I don't want to get in trouble. Because I don't feel like I have enough prominence. I don't want to put my family in jeopardy. I've had people gyp me. I intentionally gave trust, and I knew I shouldn't have, but because I felt in my heart that I want to give them a chance, and they just tore it up. I don't want to cry on camera because then, I look back at it when I'm not so teary and it looks cringy, but this is what it is. I'm tired and I'm sad. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong, I've had my happy days. I'm happy most of the time, but it's like when those reminders come back. I'm 20. I'm an adult and I have a roommate. And my parents are struggling and I'm struggling and my sister's struggling, and she is the smartest, beautiful young lady. And she has to witness that. Her family's struggling. Who's worked hard, has put education first, has talked nothing but their sorrows and past and pains, trying to get her to, do something better, and constantly seeing that every day. And you think, oh, we're supposed to just say, oh, well, now it's up to you. You have to carry this burden and try to make it a success with no help. I don't know how to help her. I'm not a success. I can't help her. She has to make this map. And it's just like, I want to be a success too. But I shouldn't have to always give 100% to climb out of the hole that I should have never been put in just because I'm black. I'm tired of it. It's just like playing a game, and if I know I kill myself, I'm just a loser in that game. They want me to kill myself. They don't want me to breed. They don't want me to have a son. They don't want me to I'm tired of being scared to grow my hair a certain way. I feel like one day I'm just gonna go bald because I constantly either have two hairstyles, or just shave it or do a fade. I wanted dreadlocks, but I never knew how to get dreadlocks because, again, I was the only male, and we always kept our hair short because jobs don't really like dreadlocks. talk to females, women, and I become over infatuated with a single person because I'm so deprived of affection sometimes that I give too much. I'm scared I'm gonna become a cheater if I what am I gonna be? What if I was finally given the proper nutrition? I constantly think if I was ever given the proper nutrition, what would I be like? Would I be an actor? Would I be a celebrity? Would I be an athlete? Try hard, I do, but I never get it. And it was something that I learned at sixth grade when I tried my best for basketball, but they never picked me. It's because I have glasses and my prescription is very, I can barely see, even from this distance. And it was something that I learned. If you try your hardest every day, 100%, you give it, you work out, you wake up and you sleep and you breathe something, and you really can't do it, then it's not for you. But in your hearts of hearts, I knew I gave it my best, and it's not for me. I tried, and it wasn't for me. The good thing, though, is that I knew, even though it hurt, there's other things, and I have a whole world to experience them. But I was very naive because I'm black. I don't get those chances to fall, get back up, and experience these things. And anytime I try to complain, it feels like there's someone saying, "Oh, I didn't have it easy either," or "I had it hard too." So I'm not supposed to feel pain because you felt pain. I don't know who you are. Tell me your pain. Tell me your stories, your struggles. How about we, instead of tearing each other down saying I had more pain than you, how about we say, you know what, it is wrong that this happened to either one of us, both of us. Let's try to make something that doesn't hurt us like that, or these things don't happen. I'm tired of hearing the coonery. I'm tired of hearing, a black person putting down another black person saying that, you're just not trying hard enough. I'm tired of these things. I'm tired of, lack of education and then trying to use that as a point. Of course, if you get an uneducated person and say, explain a movement, he's going to explain it shitty. I'm too honest sometimes. I heard my mom say she wanted to kill herself. And me thinking, I said I wanted the same thing. And we said why we wanted to kill ourselves for the same reason. I wake up every day thinking I'm not a good enough man because I should be able to help my mom. I should be able to help my family. I should be able to hold my head up high. But this land, it feels like it was never for me. It feels like anytime I try to put a complaint to try to fix something, to say, hey, this doesn't work, and someone say, what, you're ungrateful for it? Someone's always there to check me or try to check me when I say, hey, maybe you could do this better. I've always had someone come up to me, and when I say, hey, maybe if we do this, this could be better, and they say, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But then the same thing, the same problem same issue that I addressed, that I said would happen, happens, and they say, oh, well, nothing we can do now. I'm sorry I didn't listen. Or, it's too bad, I'm sorry, can't do nothing about it now. Always having someone have their word in front of my own. Always treating me like I was wrong. Until everything I said would be right. And then saying, well, there's nothing we could do now. So you just gotta get up. And if I had $10 and every time I gave it and said, okay, I want to do this, someone says, you shouldn't do this, but I really want to do this. But then they do it how they want it. And I end up losing that $10. They don't reimburse me. I just start back at zero and I have to work to get that $10. You don't know what I had to do to get that $10. I promised that if I ever won the lottery, that I would change this world, because every day, if I ever won the lottery, I know I would die in the next 10 years. You know why? Because I'd piss a lot of people off. I would say everything on my mind. I know they'd probably send another black man to kill me, because if it was anyone else, I feel like some things I have to say are very controversial, very uncomfortable, but that's the only way you can grow. It's called growing pains. Because something's uncomfortable, because something hurts, because something is not necessarily fun, it shows that you're growing. When you lift those heavy weights and you tear your muscles have to rebuild it, but it hurts. But it's growing pains. It means you're getting stronger. You know why? When someone calls me the N-word, who's white or who's anything else than black, it hurts. It's because there is a problem. I love how everyone, if a lot of people have an issue with something, it's not something wrong with the people. Maybe it's there's an issue that you're just not focusing on. I constantly have these thoughts. There's two separate me's. There's just me, and then there's black me. I have problems, but it's always mixed with just being black. It's like an extra bit of poison, just an extra kick. There's the initial problem with how I view myself, but then it's even worse with just being black. Sometimes they coincide and sometimes they're separate, but it's still problems. And I get it'd be like that sometimes. That's the only thing. And the only time that really actually helps is when it's other black people, because I know they know what I'm talking about. I hate it when I go to work and then I say, like, Black Lives Matter, and someone's like, oh man, I don't know why they're rioting, and you just like you stay quiet because you don't want that in the workplace. You don't want to always have to protest and be angry and explain some stuff. You just want to live. I'm tired of feeling unattractive. I'm tired of being unattractive. I don't know what I am. I'm constantly confused, and people take my confusion for stupidity. It's just because I'm so tired. I'm very tired. Even when I wake up, I could sleep for 8 hours straight, drink water, and get a good exercise in, and I'll be tired because I'm so drained every day. I'm gonna lie, I'm drained. I'm scared to go outside sometimes. Terrified. I live in the dark. I sleep in a closet because I'm so scared. I'm terrified. All I can say is, if I had one chance, if I had one shot, I would change this world. Like I said, this is the last thing I'm going to say. If you yourself have a dream, have a vision, do let people influence you. Do let people, any race, any color, any style, even your enemies, influence your dreams because it can change and improve them. But don't let anyone take over your dreams because they can destroy it. Don't let anyone take over your vision, even in death. Stay alive to make it come true, to witness it yourself, because if you don't do yourself, it can be wrong.